Becoming one of the partners in Breaking New Ground has been fantastic for Orchard Barn because we were able to organise the 6-day schools here at West Stow, partly practical, partly theoretical, and we ran one a month over the last winter, so 2014-15, and this little building behind me is the rather amazing outcome. Orchard Barn is an environmental education centre. It's run by a community interest company, and we specialise in using natural and traditional building projects which bring people together to learn.
Breaking New Ground is a partnership made up of 20 plus organisations in and around the Brecks. They're local organisations and also some of the larger national groups. Brecks is a really special area actually. I think it's overlooked. Natural England recently defined the Brecks as a landscape character area. It's 1,000 square kilometres that they've put a circle around and said this is a particular landscape that's very special in sort of the UK makeup. Breaking New Ground is supported by the Heritage Lottery Fund and delivering a core 37 projects in the heart of that area. The scheme was really about trying to connect people to the landscape, telling the story of the Brecks, and the vernacular architecture, the buildings in and around the Brecks are very distinctive. The materials used, the flint, the timber framing, all involve heritage skills which are being lost. So what we wanted to do with this project was to find a way to teach new people the skills and also look at how we can teach the owners and managers of listed buildings how to look after them.
Traditional buildings are a different animal than the modern buildings. When you're working on old buildings, you need to understand that they're made out of different materials and they were put together in a different way. It's not rocket science, but it is different than the new build.
Well, we started with the foundations. We started with the bricks and mortar, which was a day school called More to the Point. That was in October, and then in November we were able to work with the flint napping, and that was called court napping. Day School 3 was called In the Frame, so we went out into the woods here and we were able to source the trees, and Chris, one of our very talented volunteers, was able to convert them into the frame using the natural shape of the trees. Day School 4 was a wild day in January. It was called Batten Down and the name was very apt. We were making shingles out of sweet chestnut and we were looking at how they were made and how they were fitted. Day School 5 was called What'll Be the Future, and we featured wattle and daub and the use of coppiced hazel rods from our local woods, and we began to introduce the use of clay-rich subsoil mixed with straw to make a fantastic medium called daub. So we had a lot of fun on that day school. Day School 6 was called From the Ground Up, and we were looking at the use of earth as a building material historically and of this landscape, and then we made some cob and some clay lump and we used it on our seat.
What the courses at West Stow are doing for everyone is showing people that the techniques that are required to keep these buildings in good repair are so straightforward and so simple, and they're so easy to learn. And with a little bit of practice, you can actually become quite good at it.
What this course has shown, and these courses at West Stow, that actually there's still a lot to be taken from the landscape, lots of building resources locally, and that people can still use this on their houses and preserve them.
I work for Suffolk County Council on the green agenda, all about trying to get businesses and communities to have less of an environmental impact. And this course came across my desk and I thought, yeah, I really fancy that. I think it's important we relearn these skills and continue them into the future for a number of reasons. I mean, first of all, it's great from a health and well-being point of view. It actually gets people physically active. But beyond that, I think the value from an environmental point of view is that we're actually recycling materials effectively and we're not having any significant damaging impact on the environment.
I learn new skills that I could take home and use on my own projects and projects at school as well. And also I think I gained a new eye as to look at things in a more sustainable manner as well.
This course has actually changed my life because I was living in London and it gave me confidence to move from London and get out and do exactly what I'd been wanting to do for the majority of my life.
Well, I think the plan for the bench is to link it with lots of pathways that are going to be opening up locally. Hopefully cyclists may use that as a point to start their journey all the way through the Brecklands area to Brandon Country Park perhaps, or maybe the end journey before they end up in the cafe and having a cup of tea. It is just a point where people can sit and maybe reflect.
With my youngest son Franz getting to an age now where he'll soon be moving away, we're really starting to think about moving house, and a dream would be to get an older property and start putting these skills into practice.